Again,
It's recorded.
2008. Devin, my younger nephew, saw a BMW.
What did you click on that, John?
Oh, no. I mean, it's a two thousand
What did you
fifteen
click?
Nissan
What
Sentra,
icon?
but,
That's.
Zoom. It was on.
Yeah.
but anyways, but.
Full cocktail.
They're very good to me.
That's nice. Ready, Bob?
Yep, it's recorded. Yep.
Folks, if we could do the pledge of allegiance, so we can get along with the meeting. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right, the Worker Housing Authority Board of Commissioners meeting on Thursday, October 10th, 2024 is called to order at 4:02 p.m. 4 p.m. In attendance are Commissioners Conway, O'Donnell, Mosher, and Sonia. Thus, a quorum is present. Executive Director Correnti is also present. This meeting is being audio and video recorded. Meeting minutes. September 12th.
Mr. Chairman. Make a motion to approve, that's on file, the minutes, September 12th, 2024, that are before us.
Second. All those in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Unanimous. All right.
no correspondence.
Correspondence, investments.
Investment accounts, September 1, have something to bring up, but I'll bring it up on the October 1. If there's any questions?
Yeah, any questions on this?
No,
No? We're gonna place it on file. Payment of bill.
No, we have September 1,
Oh,
and we have the October 1. Which I put in front of it. I'd like to point out on the October 1. You see at the bottom, the total is 3.9. And I want to call the board's attention to go up under affordable housing. See the checking account there has got 139,000 balance in it. And in that account, we get zero interest. And the funds in that account are pulled in now from Section 8 vouchers at Glenside and 1618 Mason Avenue and now 14 Mason Avenue. And if you go down the bottom, you'll see Glenside, the current outstanding balance of the mortgage is $23,241.12. And we're paying 4.75% interest on that. And speaking of the accountant, we just estimate based on that interest rate, the interest for a year is about $1,200. And as you can see, that the mortgage extends out another 7 more years. So it's gonna cost us around $8,400, and you folks have the fiduciary responsibility, so I want to bring it to your attention. And if there's no objection, I think we should take, 23,000, whatever it is, 241.12 out of that checking account and pay that mortgage. And just clear it up, because the money's not doing anything for us, we save 8,000, and I think it puts us in a good position financially. So if there's no objection, that's how I.
question.
Well, and we can legally do that with no problem, right?
Correct. Yeah.
My second question is, why do we have a checking account that we're receiving zero on?
Well, that's what they offer. I've been moving them around, getting more interest. You can see in another one, I get 3% in Northern.
Why don't?
That one-
I'll make a motion if I have to, that,
Go ahead.
that we move that account to Northern or give Enterprise a chance to match what Northern's gonna do. But,
Well, why don't you hold off on more motion, but I will proceed accordingly.
if you could just find out if they will, because I mean,
Sure.
if we're getting 3 and in one and zero in the other, that this,
Sure.
I would give them the opportunity to match, if not, let's, move it over.
Sure.
We're certainly not gonna lose anything by moving it over,
Nope.
so. But I mean, I know Enterprise has been good to us on stuff, so I would ask that we give them the opportunity, but, if they can't, then let's
Sure.
move it.
It's a good point. But, Roland, to pay the water, there's no objection.
I know, as long as they say we can do it,
Yeah,
I'll make the motion that we pay the mortgage off from that, using that account, was it 23,000?
Yeah. Yeah, that amount
Whatever the,
on the payoff, I'm not sure, so.
yeah, whatever the
Sometimes
amount
you
is,
call on the day that you call, the payoff.
yeah,
Do we need a vote or just?
No.
Oh, okay.
all right. Then
So you withdraw.
I'll withdraw the motion.
And real quickly, a question, speaking of the accountant, and said other housing authorities are realizing.
Yeah.
Some of these things are making a change, so yes, you can do that, so I will proceed accordingly. You have the payment of the bills next. For a vote. Is there any questions? Have the answer?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion. Approve the payment of the bills from September 1st, 2024 to September 30th, 2024 before us.
Second,
all those in favor,
Aye.
opposed? 4-0. Well, give a silence button on that.
Sorry?
should you have a silence button on that phone?
I couldn't even hear it.
No, I thought it was just a bunch of geese.
I thought we're not in a meeting.
Yeah,
No, that was the governor's office, I told him.
yeah, everyone take a break, Bob needs to catch up with the family.
Yeah. Dog was calling.
Next, you see the section 8 voucher. thing?
Yes,
Questions?
Okay. Make a motion. That we approve payment of $91,502.96 to the Dedham Housing Authority for our section 8.
Second,
all those in favor, I opposed. 4-0.
Next, there are two, there's the account report for August 31. And place it on file, and there's the account's report for September 30th, and if there are any questions, I'll answer.
Yep.
Next, you have the payroll report. September. If there are any questions? Need a vote?
Mr. Chairman, here are no further questions. I'll make a motion that we approve the Housing Authority payroll report from 9/5/2024 to 9/26/2024.
second,
All those in favor,
Aye.
opposed. 4-0.
Next is the vacancy report as of October 1. That is the report, we had 2 vacancies, both were across the street, result in an acting lieutenant, the other one is a transfer. Answer any questions, if the board has any? Hearing none,
None?
continuing on. The executive director's report, I do have some late entry items that I'll pick up afterwards, under administrative actions, they've listed, a number of actions that we've been taking, proceeding towards court, non-payment items, and we've had judgments that haven't been ordered, so. Unfortunately, we proceeded to court, had one for lease violation. And number 2, we've had some issues with smoking. We've addressed them, not to the satisfaction of the tenant, but we've addressed them within the parameters of the policy and, advice of counsel on how to proceed. The tenant feels that not enough has been done and, wants more action taken. We continue referring people to RAF. Wherever they need assistance. Mentioned the quarterly tenant meeting, Mason Ave has been leased. Well, the porches, if you remember last year, it was rather contentious, we had some legal issues. Few people really drove it out of hand, but I gave you a copy of the memo. That, again, the porches need to be cleared by November 1. And, last year we had a tenant that had photographed other people saying that there were things on there, so I just hope it goes more smoothly for everyone's concerned. But some of the late entry things that did make it that occurred afterwards, that I think the board should be aware of. Number one, the lunch meals for November were provided today and should have been distributed to everyone. But the Thanksgiving meal was scheduled for November 21. It's a Thursday, that's the meal, the lunch is, they call lunches provided by Valley Collaborative, it's very, very good. Real turkey, not the turkey from the deli. In any event, as you remember your last meeting, you voted that the green truck was obsolete. Holland took the green truck, Holland Auto Parts, and he provided us with a check for $300. And speaking with Mr. Holland, we've decided that what we're going to do with the Thanksgiving meal is have a raffle for $10, $25 market basket gift certificates and one $50 market basket gift certificate. Right now, Bob Holland would be here, so we can introduce him and thank him, but we thought that would be appropriate with their donation. Next issue is an issue where this old expression, you feel like your mother-in-law drove you a brand new Mercedes off a cliff, you don't know whether to be happy or sad. And that is that Deb Imperioso submitted a letter that she made the tough decision to transfer to an RSC position in Amesbury, which is closer to her house. And also a little bit less time, so she can devote more time to her family. And, you know, I think looking back, we'd all say that we were fortunate with Maureen and Katie Moore here, that did very well in the position. And Deb coming on board, and there's a great tradition that she stepped into and a legacy. And she really brought it, she's here to another level, expanding the services and resources as we had talked and wanted to the other properties, 13 River Street and to the town, and you know, including activities for all those residents. So she really brought it not only the next step, but probably a number of steps above. And looking back, it's not a firm decision. I think I can indicate it. In talking with management at HBAN, I think that this situation now has been brought because of Debbie to a level where we need a resident service coordinator 5 days a week. I think the services that are provided are very critical to the quality of life for residents here. We've seen it with what Deb has done. She's involved now helping with certifications and things like that. So I truly think that going to 5 days is the way to go. I've discussed it with HBAN, and frankly, at HBAN, they haven't said a final yes, but they're in favor of it, and I'm hoping they can make it happen. So, I mean, it's still up in the air. Don't take it to the bank, and it's not over till the fat lady sings. But you know, I think we're going in the right direction, and they're certainly on board with it. And I think that's again due to what Debbie has accomplished with this position and the level she's brought it to. So we're certainly going to miss her, but I think you know what she's done has caused this to go to another level and provided a lot of resources to residents. And in recognition of that, you know, we'll bump it up. We'll get that decision and we'll make an adjustment in the budget. And that will be presented in December, I'm talking to the accountant, we'll make an adjustment for that position, because that's a position contracted through HCAM. You know, I wanted to say that, I don't know if, Debbie had anything she wants to say.
The best job I've ever had, and I think everybody should transfer to Amesbury
Yeah. Well, thank you and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Meet you in Newburyport.
That's right.
Yeah.
See you at the Broad.
Some of the, you know, we're gonna miss her, and, yeah, he's been telling me that, yeah. They'll be recruiting it and, yeah.
And I will, one of my days is as a floater, so I'll be in the rigor on Fridays until the position is filled.
Ah,
So
okay.
I'm selfishly happy for that.
There we go.
One of the things, you know, on the modernization program, the projects we've talked about in the past, one of the projects is the Talbot parking lot. I mean, every time you get a bunch of projects, there's always one or two that, I don't know, the state is going to become a drag to get it done, but in talking with people today, matter of fact, following up, it seems like now, I thought we'd get this done by this summer, but it seems like now it's gonna fall into next spring. Not much I can do, like, you have no control over state people that are involved, and it's the nickel, you hound them, but it is what it is, and, you know, we're on top of it. And, we're also on top of the project. David's here across the street to replace all the bathroom sinks there. We had last Friday an asbestos analysis and testing, and there is asbestos in the caulking, which isn't surprising, because that was built in the '60s around the sinks. That project started out at $125,000. Now, because of asbestos, it adds about $65,000 to mediate asbestos. So now it's up around $190,000. Again, that's the modernization. State pays for that. It's not totally free. They pay for it. It just gets counted for against us. So that's less money we have for another project. But again, you know, we're getting it done. You know?
Can I say something about that real quick? Sure. In the bathrooms, and I know, Bob, we discussed a lot of it. But on the faucets, Bob, a lot of them now are, they have to turn them.
Right.
If there's any way we can get the ones that you can just pull, because a lot of people are having a lot of hard times turning on. They're so old over there.
Well, you brought it up now. I mean, see me in the morning, because I'll have to call
Yeah, I will.
the engineer, because when they were out, that's when they walked away with
I might have
you.
mentioned it to them.
Yeah.
But we'll,
But, got mentioned to me in the morning, and we'll have to contact the engineer. So when they write the scope of work,
yeah,
they build that in there. You know, we did mention to them about having access to undo blockages
yeah,
from the pipe.
Yeah.
To avoid having to remove this from the
yeah,
sink
save money. on that,
off the
yeah.
wall. But yeah, I've seen the more.
Just because I know the woman that I was dealing with has such bad arthritis, I could turn it on with 2 fingers,
Sure,
and it was hard for her, so.
sure. The other thing is, I mentioned at the last meeting, and things moved, is sadly, this tree outside, large tree. Half of it, if you will, is gone. We had an arborist in, who said, you know, for safety, the tree should come down. We had the tree surgeon, product, look at it, and he feels the same way, and if you remove just the dead limbs, they're pretty big. It's going to leave half a tree which leans over the building, and there'll be no counterweight, so it'll expedite its coming down. So, you know, we did speak to the folks relative to it being in the historic district. The historic district does not get involved with the tree, so we can proceed. But out of recognition for a tree that we estimate is probably 125 years old or more, what we did was we had an individual we all know that has on the side business with drones. Went up, took some pictures of the tree from the drone all around. And we selected out 2 pictures, and frankly, the pictures showed the disease pretty badly. But we picked out the pictures and they were a little photoshopped to eliminate a vehicle and stuff like that. And what we're doing is those are going to be put into a frame. With a little thing saying it's a. I forget the. Beach something Americana, some Latin name, and estimate when it was done, in circa 1875 or something. And well, maybe we'll put one here and put one in folks at the Parker House to at least give recognition to a tree that's been there that long. We have another idea that, I don't wanna go too deep into it because it may not be able to occur. But we spoke with the tree fellow today. It's gonna be a big project, you're probably looking at, $10,000. That tree. It's a significant amount of work. Large and crane and all that stuff. So, it's unfortunate, you feel bad every time you look at it. It is what it is. I did mention to the board about the land opposite here. The maintenance building, by the dumpsters, there's land in there that's owned by someone on Blanchard Road. And it was surveyed, we're waiting for the survey results and to speak with some people that know zoning. It's gonna be an issue with zoning to get it zoned so that we can put in maybe a 2-car garage there. But I think, I think we should still proceed because if you think about it, one of the famous lines, if you ever saw Gone with the Wind, is Gerald O'Hara telling his daughter, Scarlett O'Hara, the land is the most important thing because it's something that lasts forever. And I think whether or not we can build the garage, we should still acquire that land. We use the land through the gracious permission of the owner to push snow in there, push debris in there. If the guy would have sold, someone else was doing, will say no. So it makes sense to, if they're willing to sell it, snap it up and we'll do what we can and work what we can with it. So I just wanted to keep the board, in tune with that. And I think that's all of my report. I'll answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
may I make a motion that we fly, if we're gonna try to save the memoirs of trees and age, that we fly a drone over the executive director, take a couple pictures, and possibly put them up in some other areas that I won't discuss right now.
After last week, because he had some kind of disease.
Yeah.
I'll suck it up.
Worrying about a tree now. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Did you remember when it was planted, Bob? Is that what
That's
the?
what I'm wondering, so.
You're trying to show some respect to a tree, and you don't get it from them. Continuing along if you like.
Yes, please.
Oh,
Yes, oh, yeah.
Definitely after that
Talk about
lengthy tree story.
That's under old business is the update on the PMR, the performance management report. As you see in the memo, it was done on September 26th. And we did very well. There was one criteria that was noted that corrective action needed. This is the system. The system picked up, and they picked up that we have a very high tenants account receivable. As they said in the memo, we do that. We have an individual, we have one of the lowest, frankly. However, we have one individual that the housing authority, not the individual unreported income, and we lost $50,000. The person was caught, and we pursued it. Person, we're going through the steps to negotiate and go to court, and then the person in the middle of the night moved out of the house. We pursued the person, and we were able to do some due diligence. Person had purchased a house in the nearby community, and we have a lien on the house. And every month interest is going. Frankly, we're now up above what the person owed on the interest because of the lack of payment. But that counts against us. It's right now about $15,000. That counts against us. So, we get the corrective action, but the answer to the corrective action was it's a result of our doing due diligence and finding it. And taking the appropriate action to protect the housing authority. The other thing was minor, but it was brought up, that we don't, the number of minorities in the houses, we only have one. And, you know, I know occasionally some individuals feel we have too many minorities, or there's trash living here, and all that stuff. The state encouraged us to do more to try to recruit and get minority folks into our 705 program. Which is the house.
Okay, so just one quick question, Bob. Do they have any criteria that they wanna, if they're doing a finding,
Oh,
they
yeah,
must, they must have to look at something and say, we have this written up over here, and you guys aren't doing it. It doesn't sound like that's the case. It's, they've encouraged us to do it.
they encourage us, we have to report, I don't know if it's quarterly or semi-annual, we have to report, Asians, Hispanic, Black, Native Indians, Alaskans, and something else.
None of the above is one of the options, right?
That's correct.
So, I mean.
Yeah, and they're not satisfied with the level of minorities in the houses. They say we need more, so, you know, it's just, yeah. I think we're doing what we can, because the list is the list, I can't go around the list.
Right.
So you just have to recruit in areas where it will draw minorities onto your list. And we use, community teamwork in Lowell, because they're, you know, they're in an area that has a high number of minorities, and that's their mission, is to work with people. So we do try to get people through community teamwork onto the list, which would then mean that we'd be picking from minorities, but
So I mean, you used the word corrective action. Is this the corrective action item?
I had to write something out.
Yes, you did. Okay, and you put that, you put the community, we do have a plan in place.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
Okay.
not a thing where they're hanging us, or we get, it's just the result of the report. You
Yeah.
have to do something. Their system got high receivables, and now they know how they're current, they're satisfied.
Sure.
And so, I mean, again, it's a systemic issue with.
New business.
So, last issue, then we have an addendum that happened real quick. It says approved repurposing unit was misspelled at 13 River Street. H-Span has supportive service program, as it says in the memo, 3 years here. That individual covers evenings and nights. There's a sign in the door, someone could call up on the weekend. I've got a problem, you know, a prescription or something, and all that. And through the years, it was an individual lived here on 16 River Street and did that. And the deal was the person lived here without paying rent. Came on board with no documentation, and there's nothing. So we worked with H-Span and we had documentation, but we didn't agree to provide the housing here because over here it's $1,600 some odd dollars a month.
Mhm.
Across the street, it's whatever, it floors, it's not that high, you know? So the individual's over there, so now we have to renew the contract, and we just have to get a board vote to repurpose that unit again for supportive services, that's all.
Are there any questions? Jim?
You have the motion written down.
Yes, he does.
I move the Board of Housing Authority Board of Commissioners approve the continued repurposing of the residential unit at 13 River Street. The H-Span for their supportive, care coordinator in such unit for the existing contract is provided at no charge to H-Span.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Forward.
Lastly, I sent out an addendum to the Bird Rapids Lake, one of these modernization projects. Here's the roof, you see the memo at 2931 Trouble Cove Road. And RCAT, New England RCAT, New England Regional Capital System Team assisted with this project, and I gave you the letter. The bids, you can see the bids range from $18,500 to $31,000. And the low bidder was NSI Clean Worldwide, it was reviewed, referenced, rejected. And it's recommended that quote be accepted, and that we enter into a contract with NSI Clean Worldwide for this project in the amount of $18,500. And the sample motion is there. And again, I think there's no difference when we do the agenda, and we need to do it so that we can keep this moving and hopefully get the roof done before the snow flies.
Can we have a copy of the,
Oh,
can we have a copy of the motion?
Oh, I didn't give it to you guys?
no,
Oh,
First of all, does anyone have any questions about,
I'm sorry.
while we walked over here?
Yeah,
yeah, now's the time.
It's,
Wrong.
It's,
yeah, but
I thought maybe John was gonna drop it off, so
Yeah, that's the same thing.
I'm still trying to figure out where's these bills.
Wow.
Oh, we're all over.
I think I know.
All right,
I move that the Brooklyn Housing Authority accept the quote and enter into a contract with NSI Clean Worldwide for the 29 to 31 Treble Cove Road roof. Project 031087 in the amount of $18,500, and that the Board of Commissioners authorize the executive director to execute any required documents in relation to this project.
I have a motion.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Can I get that memo down?
Opposed? Four over.
That's it?
Okay, no, that isn't it. November 14th, December 12th will be our next meeting.
Happy Halloween.
Just double checking, Bob, there's no open mic.
No,
Nobody said.
no open mic.
Very good.
Motion to adjourn.
so the
Second.
second 14.
All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed?
And what time do you have?
Okay,
What time do you have?
4:32.
And what was December?
We can do better with the time then.
Is it here? I didn't.
Yeah, sorry.
And
Oh, all right.
That's.